So Coach Cheryl Reeve is appearing to turn the corner with her opinion on Caitlin Clark. As we know from earlier this season, she had said that individual talent is great, talking about Team USA, but how do we become the best team we can be? All the countries spend a lot of time together. Teams with some chemistry and talent, that's going to be hard for us. On May 3rd, she commented on a tweet by the WNBA hyping up the preseason game for the Fever versus Dallas, and here's what she said. She said, also in action, the Lynx versus Chicago Sky at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Though fans won't be able to watch, Lynx fans can go to the Lynx app to follow along via play-by-play, or if you're in market, come to the game as we start the season off right. Hashtag 12 teams. Hashtag the W is more than one player. Personal shot at Caitlin Clark right there. And then on that same thread, Christine Brennan of the USA Today, she has shared screenshots of another ex-user replying with a question, is there a reason why it's not being shown? To which another replied, because they only care about Caitlin. And then ahead of the game on Sunday, Reeve was asked about the crowd possibly being pro-Fever with Caitlin being at the game. And then Reeve responded, I don't give two blanks. Later clarified she doesn't even give one you know what. Now, I can understand Cheryl Reeve's perspective when she's talking about how her team isn't getting any visibility for the preseason. Caitlin Clark is getting all this attention. But the reality is, at that time, Caitlin Clark was the talk of the WNBA. Not taking anything away from the Minnesota Lynx, I think they have a superb defensive team. They're number one in defensive rating at 93.3, I believe. And to be honest, at that time, Caitlin Clark was coming in with all the hype because people want to watch her play. And if we're going to get the WNBA more exposure, then you need somebody to be the face. And right now, Clark is the face along with Angel Reese, in my opinion. So you have to let Caitlin continue to build out the league, have people come in. Like, she drew 18,000 plus fans in the game against the Minnesota Lynx. She was in their building and it generated that much buzz. That's incredible work. So we can sit here and nitpick about getting visibility. I understand you want people watching your team. However, at the same time, the market wants to watch Caitlin Clark. It just is what it is. But you can take advantage of that by talking about, okay, Caitlin Clark is doing a great job for our league. She's doing great with bringing fans, and talk about the positive things about it instead of being negative. Because right now, before this year, no one really cared about the WNBA. And you want fans to watch, then you need to get us to care about the product. So if Caitlin is getting us to care, let that happen naturally instead of this pushback. Now, there's an article on the Athlon Sports where the title says, Team USA coach accepts WNBA's Caitlin Clark reality after Fever Lynx clash. Okay, so let's continue to read that. It says, everybody knows that the reason why our teams around the league are having sellouts are because Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever are coming to town. I think this is a great quote by Cheryl Reeve. I hope it continues in the future because right now people care about Clark. But also, I'm watching more of Angel Reese. I'm also paying attention to what the Las Vegas Aces are doing. And the reason why you want to speak positive about the WNBA is you get people caring and excited. We want narratives, we want storylines, but being negative about one player constantly is not the best look. When you're in the comment section on Twitter saying that part, where the reality is she is drawing all these fans. That's just what it is. Whether we like it or not, that's where the market is. And you have to understand how a market works. So when a product is out and people want it, then you have to market that constantly. And if you don't like the fact that the WNBA is pushing Caitlin Clark, well, that's not their fault. The fans are asking for it. So I think for Cheryl Reeve, the smart thing going forward, whether Caitlin Clark makes the USA Olympics team, I don't really care too much about that. But if she can say things like, Caitlin is helping us go in a positive direction, it's going to help generate more buzz for teams and other players. That is exactly what you want to be saying for the rest of the season. Because again, there's going to be a month break. You're going to have the Olympics, you're going to have the WNBA All-Star game, and you're going to come back to finish out the season. So it's very important for Cheryl Reeve to keep these quotes up. If you want the WNBA to make a profit and grow in the revenue, then take what you have. Rome was not built in a day. Plant your seeds. Develop the players you have in front of you. Let Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese take the league by storm. And as it grows, we're going to care about other storylines. Like right now, I love what the Las Vegas Aces have done. I've looked at their team. I've seen how they went to Las Vegas. They brought in Asia Wilson, who's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer for the WNBA. I mean, the girl, her resume is incredible. I mean, she's unbelievable. And then you have Becky Hammon, who used to be an assistant coach of the San Antonio Spurs. She's come in and made an instant impact on this team. 2 championships with the potential of a third one in a row. That's impressive stuff. We want to talk about dynasties, even though maybe it's negative to some people because people don't always like winning, but it's good for the league to have somebody dominating like this. And if they three-peat, that's a great story going into next season. So again, you can see things building and getting better. Asia Wilson is my favorite player as I've been watching the WNBA. I love her game. She can hit the mid-range. She can drive to the hole. Her game is phenomenal. And she's in her prime. So, of course, she's going to be cooking like this. But again, if you can speak positive about what's going on in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese Rookie of the Year batter, the fans that are coming to your games because of Caitlin Clark's impact, the dynasty potential with the Las Vegas Aces. Those are good things, but you have to start somewhere. So instead of being negative about Caitlin Clark, speak positive, talk about her game. Was she great against the Lynx? It wasn't her best game. Every superstar has a bad game. And the Lynx are great defensively. So you can also talk about that, what you guys do. And if fans aren't tuning into your games yet, well, you got to draw with Caitlin Clark. So make sure that you are hyping those games up when she's coming to town or you're going to her building because fans are going to watch your players as well. Duh. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Cheryl Reeve. I like what she said after the game. Obviously, in the past, she hasn't been as positive with Caitlin Clark. Hope you guys enjoyed this video today. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what Cheryl Reeve had to say after the game, what she said in the past about Caitlin Clark. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.